So you have a design draft for the new Stasis Hunter subclass for me?
Yes, I do, sir. We really wanted to expand on the Hunter's arsenal of supers and abilities and really give them something new to play with.
That makes sense. We are wielding darkness now.
Right, exactly, which is why for their super we gave them a better version of Blade Barrage.
We delayed the game 3 months and gave you all this money, and you created basically a strictly better version of another super subclass?
Basically, it's essentially exactly the same mechanically. Instead of throwing 2 bunches of knives, Hunters will just throw 2 big sickles, one that freezes anything within what feels like the radius of a city block, and a second one which spawns the most painfully slow ice tornado you have ever seen.
Everything seems fine with that. What about the rest of the subclass?
So you see, because we sunset 70% of most players' inventories, and we know that players would be upset at the lack of new content, almost everything in the subclass is either borrowed from other pre-existing subclasses, or is shared between all other Stasis subclasses.
Oh, just like Blade Barrage.
That's correct, sir. So all the jumps and dodges are the same, but the grenades are all shared throughout each of the other Stasis subclasses, and...
Oh, I like those boom boom balls. Tell me about them.
Sure, we have 3 grenades. One grenade creates this bolt of ice which will instantly freeze anything it touches.
Oh, that sounds neat. I'm guessing it would require you to physically hit a guardian with it to freeze them.
No, because that would require aiming.
Right, I'm sorry.
We decided it would be good if it just tracked automatically towards targets, and if it touches a target, it would just instantly freeze them and move on to the next target.
That sounds terrifying.
Oh yes, it is, sir. The best part is that we're thinking it will freeze Guardians and Crucible for a whole 5 seconds or so.
Nothing imbalanced about that, but what do I know? I don't play test anything.
I best keep it that way.
What?
Nothing, sir. So the competitive sandbox team keeps telling me that it should be closer to 2 seconds, but let's be honest, nobody plays competitive in Trials of Osiris.
I don't even know what a Trials of Osiris is. When I first heard about it, I thought it was the challenge that 3rd graders do to see who could stare at the sun the longest.
Speaking of Crucible, sir, I think you're really going to like this next grenade. Originally, it was going to be exclusively on Titan to make them feel more unique and interesting and balanced, but we were just too busy modeling the Exo Stranger's ass.
Yeah, nobody likes a soggy bottom.
Pretty sure that statement applies to pies, sir.
So, what was the next grenade called again?
We are calling this the Glacier Grenade. It's basically May's Wall from Overwatch.
That's great. Everybody loved fighting May in Overwatch.
They sure did, sir. In fact, we decided that creating cover out of nowhere wasn't good enough, so we made it also instantly freeze target solid if someone is within sneezing distance of one of these things.
Oh, I bet it would be a lot of fun in PvE.
And it is.
And what about the PvP players?
Right, so in order to make them viable, we made them deal around 450 damage.
Whoa, really? That seems like a bit much.
And it is, but don't worry, we balanced it out.
If you say so.
So in order to deal that damage, those individual stasis crystals that spawn have to be shattered first.
Ah, and I'm guessing that a hunter being focused on being nimble and light would have a hard time breaking those crystals.
Actually, it'll be super easy, barely an inconvenience.
Oh, really?
So hunters have this ability called Shatter Dive, which will instantly shatter any frozen targets or stasis crystals within roughly 10 meters. This Shatter Dive not only deals 50 damage, but it also has no cooldown.
Wow, 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 wow. Wow.
In fact, to help hunters out, we are giving them a fragment that increases the size of these explosions. So instead of the range of the ice wall shatter being roughly the size of a Volkswagen, it'll now be roughly the size of a 16-wheeler pickup truck.
I do like me some car-size comparisons.
I thought you would, sir. The last grenade is called the Dusk Field Grenade.
That sounds like a really interesting area of effect grenade.
And it is, sir. It will slow and eventually freeze anything that is inside of its radius.
I can feel it chilling my soul just hearing you talk about it.
But we thought that it seemed a bit inconsistent at first, so we also made it physically suck targets towards the center of it.
Oh, a very sucker grenade.
That it is, sir. So it basically renders using cover useless if you can plant one of these babies within a 10-meter radius of a target.
Which no guardian is going to be able to reasonably abuse.
Oh, I agree.
Anything else?
Of course, and when the AoE slowness effect is combined with its melee...
Oh, tell me about the melee.
Right, so basically it's the knife trick melee from Blade Barrage because, again, you know, reusing assets.
Oh, very frugal of you.
Oh, thank you, sir. But this one bounces off walls, track towards and between targets, and ricochets 3 or 4 times.
Oh, projectiles that bounce off surfaces is tight.
Exactly, which is why we gave them 2 of them.
Another win for the sandbox team.
Well, the competitive balance team seemed very emotional when I told them about it, but I didn't stick around long enough to hear what they were saying. Something about it being overtuned in PvP or something, so I would say it's safe to assume it'll be a big hit.
Well, it sure does sound like this will be super fun to use in things like raids and not at all annoying to deal with in PvP.
Great, I thought you would agree.
Alright, well, I will push these through with the next update. But, by the way, I was thinking we could add in some more Crucible maps for this massive update.
No, I think that the Crucible player base really likes the idea of sunsetting, so it would be great if we sunset Crucible maps too.
Oh, great idea. Other than that, I think that Crucible is looking just fine where it is.
I agree 100%. Hi viewers, I'm Scapegoat.
And I'm Misa. We hope you enjoyed this little skit.
If it's not too much trouble, please consider subscribing. It really does help us out a lot.
And it helps feed my crippling peanut butter addiction.
And my mobile game in-app purchase addiction.
We have lots of videos like this one on the channel, so be sure to check those out as well.
And feel free to share this with your Discord group if you liked it. Thanks to you all.
Bless your faces and deuces.